Hey everybody, welcome back. If you remember in the last episode, we were trying to escape the heat of Big Bend.
And this episode will be on the road between Big Bend and the Guadalupe Mountains of still sort of South Texas, but not as South Texas and a little bit more elevation. So, what's that? They're right here. Bird
Squirrel.
flew by. Squirrel, yeah. We could not get out of South Texas fast enough. It's funny, you'll see later in this episode, heat can really, I'm talking significant heat like this, can start to change the way you think. And embarrassed to say, we were starting to want to give up on the entire summer because it was just
a hot year. It was definitely, Texas was nice, but it was so hot.
Heading north out of Big Bend towards Alpine, Texas. We got a dust devil here. See if it crosses the highway. Kind of fell apart, huh?
Yeah, it fell apart. Oh, it's still going. You see it? A little bit.
I bet the wind currents are still going.
There it goes. It started back up.
Yeah.
The other side.
Hello.
Thank you.
Pretty good, thanks. Guys, says Border Patrol immigration inspection. Can you wind down this window, please?
Oh, sure.
Everybody on board U.S. citizens?
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was U.S. inspection. I was getting tired, took a nap, and Cindy is getting her first. It is your first?
This camper.
First experience towing with this camper. We're out in the middle of nowhere, so it was a good place for it. And you got to experience an inspection. We are coming up on Alpine and we were hoping to make Van Horn tonight. We're about 2 hours from Van Horn and it's 3:40. We just need to stop early today with all this heat and sit back and enjoy. One of the few things that were available to see during this drive was the town of Marfa, which we didn't know a whole lot about at the time. Since then, I've seen videos of the Marfa lights, and the town itself looked sort of cute, but we had blinders on because of the heat. And I tell you, when we got to Marfa, we were looking for a place that had electricity so we could have air conditioning, and that's all that was on our minds. On the main strip, there were like two rinky-dink sort of campgrounds. One of them here you'll see, we ended up not staying at this one, but it had a very unique office to it.
That's cute.
This is the office to Tumbleweed Inn. Mom's going in to find out what their rates are. Nice office. And the park, we've never really stayed in one like this before. It's a little barren.
You go to number 12, that's where that manager is.
Okay, 27 if it's got electric and all.
And the next campground that's a little campground in a field, and had two little trees, but it gave us some shade.
Yeah, I tell you, you were looking for anything that could give some shade. And even with the shade, we got hooked up here at this place, and it takes the air conditioner just like almost all night. You know, it's the middle of the night before it actually felt comfortable in the camper. But this campground was, it looked like some full-timers were there.
Yeah.
Like they were long-termers, and
Long-termers.
garbage around. And remember we had like old rusted furniture on our site and stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't have many options.
But
So
we had air.
we had air conditioning.
The sunset, though, from that place.
Yeah, remember that? So I got out and flew the drone a little bit and enjoyed the sunset.
9 o'clock and the sun goes down. Just now.
No, but from what I see, comment on here if you've ever seen them. From what I see, it's just some lights off in the horizon.
Yeah, I think it's like a reflection, the way the haze is or something, of car lights on a highway. That's what
Oh.
I've heard anyway. If you ever go there, you need to just stop in the town. It looks really cute.
Yeah, and I remember that night started our conversation. I think I was the first one to say it, but we were having a real conversation about just going home early. We were about 2 weeks into the trip, or not even a week into the trip. We had 5 weeks ahead of us, but the plan was for almost the entire trip was going to be in the Southwest, and the forecast was not good. We are leaving our spot in Marfa, Texas, and headed north on 54 to the Guadalupe National Park and then on to Carlsbad. Yesterday was, I think the heat of Big Bend really got to us, and yesterday we had conversations about maybe just heading home. We looked at the national weather forecast and we saw lots of headlines about the great heat wave or historic heat wave in the Southwest, and then we looked at projections in Phoenix were in the 120 for one day, and really looking at the map, we couldn't find many options that would get us out of the 100 degrees, and to be honest, we just can't really enjoy ourselves in that.
June and July is kind of the only time that we have that free time to go, and so we just have to make do with what we're dealt.
Yeah, and I see people comment that don't dare go to South Texas in the summer, and we learned our lesson. We know why, but on the other hand, if we don't go in the summer, we won't go. So we figured we'd brave it and just deal with it. And really, it was almost too much to deal with.
Yeah, it was. Our first year trip that we took us through in June, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, back in season 1, we were
Yeah.
in Southwest, and I think we were so excited that first year that we got to travel that we just dealt with it. But we're seasoned at this point, and and we don't like to put up with too much hassle.
Well, it definitely was hotter than it has ever been.
Yeah.
110 degrees
Yeah.
in a metal box.
Yeah.
That was tough.
So in our final stretch to the Guadalupe Mountains, we were driving, not really paying attention, and then slammed on the brakes real quick because we saw
Prada.
Prada. It's an art installment out in the middle of nowhere.
Out in the middle of nowhere. It was so cool.
Now you thought it was cool. It's art, and sort of like the Cadillac Ranch up in Amarillo is, and I like the Cadillac Ranch up in Amarillo. I get it, and it's cool. This was really weird. I mean, a fancy shoe store in the middle of nowhere.
That's what made it cool.
I guess so. To each their own. If you want to see a fancy shoe store in the middle of nowhere, go out to Prada.
Go see Prada.
Hey, we found Prada. Obviously an art piece. What's the artist saying here, Owen?
I don't know.
You don't know? Have no idea?
Nope. Left something behind. I'm
We
sure
did.
you'll show that.
Yeah, we left a little heart on the fence. There's a fence there to leave stuff, and I like doing stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
cool. So,
So-
if anybody sees this little heart, which you'll see in a minute, let us know. Be cool to know
Yeah.
if someone saw it. Now,
And also, I think it would be cool when the boys have a family and if they end up going out there and they can, maybe it will still be there.
maybe ours was not a lock. A lot of them are locks, which will be there kind of
Yeah.
forever. Ours could be taken off, so hopefully nobody messes with it.
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably.
Not. Unless one of y'all take it.
Yeah. Don't take the heart.
So where are we gonna put it, Ma?
I think, what do you think? Over in the message?
I don't know.
What do you think? Up here. Come
No,
on.
that won't work.
That's wait. Good.
There.
All right.
And the Ragu has hung something up.
After Prada, the landscape started changing a little bit. We climbed a little bit in elevation, and the temperature gave us about a 10-degree relief. It was still hot.
It's still hot.
It
but
was
man,
it was like 90, but 90 feels great after
Yeah.
110.
The plan today is to go into the Guadalupe Mountains. They have a campsite up in the mountains that's supposed to be cooler, but the campground said, the website says, there were only 4 RV spots, which is the lowest number I've ever seen, but we'll see. Play it by ear. If those are full, we'll get ourselves to Carlsbad. Wherever we go, we will have electricity. So we can already feel a real difference here north of I-10. It's 87 degrees right now at 11:20, and that's a good 10-15 degrees cooler than the same time at Big Bend. The mountains are changing, aren't they?
They are, yep. What did it say? Oh, I see. The dip in the road is where, oh my goodness.
The river comes right across the road.
Yeah, wow. Look at that.
Well, if we'd have hit that at high speed, we'd have bottomed out.
Oh my goodness.
You ever see a river come right across a highway?
Wow. So we'll see you in our next episode when we explore the Guadalupe Mountain
National Park,
Park.
I think. I get a little confused. It's
Guadalupe Mountain.
National Parks, Historic Park, National
Park.
A lot of different names. It's a place.
And it was cooler up there.
Yeah, it was. We'll start there. It was better because it was cooler.
And we met some great people.
We did.
Yeah,
We did.
well, that was the best.
So thanks for joining, and we will see you guys next time.